True Sports episode 74 is the MLB post trade deadline special. So,
What a day.
yeah, Verlander to back to the Astros. That's our top. That's our top story of the prior to the trade deadline itself.
Yeah. And they say he can't go home again. Well, you proved that wrong.
Yeah, and he won two World Series championships with those guys.
Yuck.
Well, the
Well,
last one was with Dusty Baker, not AJ Hinch.
yeah, I know, but you know how I feel about the Astros. I know it was a long time ago, but still.
I know that's it's not that anymore though.
Right.
So yeah, they did not cheat it with Dusty Baker at the helm, and I'll bet they're not cheating. And I'll bet they're not cheating again this year either.
Hmm. Right. Okay.
So Rich Hill I think goes to the Padres.
Yes, they can use some help though. They're struggling right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Except with their sweep over the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. That was kind of surprising though.
Yep. So yeah, you got to compete to buy. You know,
Yes, you
you
do.
you got to win to buy too.
Oh yeah.
So my Tigers kept Eduardo Rodriguez because he has a family living on the east side of the border of North America.
Mm.
That's why he invoked his no trade clause to prevent going to the Dodgers. So the
Yeah.
Tigers still have one ace on their product roster, while they
Yes.
dealt Michael Lorenzen to the Philadelphia Phillies for a Japanese player, Hao Yu Lee.
Oh,
Hao Yu Lee, yeah, the first
really?
Japanese player on the Tigers since 2000 when they had Hideo Nomo,
Hideo Nomo. Yep, I remember that.
the
Boy, I'm
tornado.
old. Yeah. Boy, I'm old.
So am I. I'm 39 and a
I'm
half.
53.
Oh yeah. So let's see here. The MLB. Well, so the MLB trade tracker. You want to dig that up, Lewis?
Yeah, because we got a lot. MLB
Yep,
trade tracker.
of
Okay.
course. So
Yeah.
that'll kick off on your true sports report. So go ahead.
All right. So we'll go to the trade tracker. Ah, here we are. Gotta do it exactly as it says, folks. Okay.
Yep.
Trade tracker goes like this. Verlander to the Astros, and everything went down before 6 p.m. At the trade deadline happened 6 p.m. this evening. Been a busy day. It's been a busy week, actually. So here we go. Completed trade. The Yankees are acquiring right-hander Spencer Howard from the Texas Rangers for cash considerations, according to a source familiar with the deal. They didn't say what source, but all we know it's a source. Completed trade. The Padres are acquiring right-hander reliever Scott Barlow from the Kansas City Royals. ESPN took care of that one. Moving further down the line, completed trade. The Boston Red Sox are acquiring infielder Luis Urias from the Brewers, sources told ESPN. More completed trades. The Miami Marlins are acquiring first baseman Josh Bell from the Cleveland Guardians, for infielder Gene Segura and infielder prospect Kari Watson. ESPN to get rid of that. Another completed trade for the Yankees, as the Yankees are acquiring right-hander reliever Kenyon Middleton from the White Sox. The Orioles are finalizing a deal for right-hander Jack Flaherty from the St. Louis Cardinals. The Arizona Diamondbacks are acquiring outfielder Tommy Pham from the New York Mets. The Texas Rangers are acquiring catcher Austin Hedges from the Pittsburgh Pirates. All these are coming from ESPN, by the way. The White Sox have acquired right-hand pitcher Luis Patino from the Rays for cash considerations. The Miami Marlins have also acquired power-hitting infielder Jake Burger from the White Sox for left-handed prospect Jake Edner. Okay. Erod turns down chance to go to LA. The Dodgers and Detroit Tigers had trade in place for left-hand starter Eduardo Rodriguez. I get Erod, I get it. But Rodriguez invoked his 10-team no-trade clause that included the Dodgers, and the deal is now dead. Sorry. Okay.
To the Dodgers.
Yes. The Brewers acquired left-handed reliever Andrew Chapin in a trade with the Diamondbacks. The Phillies are in agreement on a trade to acquire right-handed starter Michael Lorenzen from the Tigers. Why the Twins can move up? Yeah. Why the Twins could move up a starting pitcher? The market is drying up on starting pitching, and the Twins are getting a lot of calls on their arms. The team is still open to trading one of its starters with Sonny Gray, a former Yankee, the pitcher we most mentioned. The Twins seek offense in return, ranking 19th in the majors in runs per game, with Carlos Correa and Brian Buxton struggling. Yow. Okay. Braves could start trading for rotation help. The Braves have been involved in the starting pitching market, but now there is skepticism that they will land one. Max Fried and Kyle Wright are due back soon. Buster Only reported that deal. Dodgers B plan after Justin Verlander heads to Houston. The Dodgers are still in line on Erod, as far as I can tell, and if Dylan Cease, Mitch Keller are not moved, Rodriguez might be their last best pivot. There doesn't seem to be anybody else who would serve as a clear upgrade over their best young starters. Back to more completed trades, the Astros have a deal in place to acquire ace Justin Verlander from the Mets that has now been official. Sources familiar with the agreement told ESPN days after their deal sending Max Scherzer to the Rangers spiced up this trade season. The Mets have sent the reigning AL Cy Young winner back to his former team in a true deadline day blockbuster. Yeah, honey, I'm home. Oh boy.
Already interesting to begin with.
Yes. The Blue Jays have acquired infielder Paul DeJong from the Cardinals. The San Diego Padres are acquiring left-handed starter Rich Hill and first baseman Jin-Man Choi from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Rockies and Braves have made a first deal deadline day, with Colorado sending veteran reliever Brad Hand to Atlanta for right-handed prospect Alec Barker. The latest on Verlander's status. We do not know yet what Justin Verlander wants, and he completely controls the situation with his no-trade clause. But, as we discussed on Sunday Night Baseball, no team is better positioned to make a Verlander trade than the Orioles. They are loaded with prospects, and the Mets demonstrated a clear willingness to eat a lot of money. And it is a clear need for a starter who can take the ball for Game 1 or Game 2 in the playoffs or the World Series. Verlander is clearly the name everyone is watching on the heels of the Mets trading Max Scherzer over the weekend, while the Dodgers and Astros have been mentioned most often, are far from the only situation which could be a play for a Verlander blockbuster, and it has. Dogs for the White Sox to move up to their shortstop. Things have cooled on the Tim Anderson front. Borrowing any last-minute change, he is likely staying in the windy city of Chicago. Why starting pitcher trades could rule deadline day? Simple. One MLB team staffer says there will be a barrage of starting pitcher deals completed today, maybe in the last couple of hours. Now, this is before 6 o'clock, mind you. As desperation begins to factor in. Verlander, Jack Flaherty, Erod, Michael Lorenz among things in play in the corner of the market. The Braves, Dodgers, Reds, Astros, and Orioles are among the primary teams looking to add a starter. Wow, that's a big move. Okay. As of late Monday night, the Yankees front office was not close to making a move. Today, will say a lot about the direction of the franchise, of where it's going. There's a lot of skepticism in the organization that will affect major unloading, with the thought that they're more likely to make measured additions. Yeah, the Yankees could use him right now because the Yankees not doing so good. Ugh. What does Bichette's injury mean for the Blue Jays? It could be that the Blue Jays trade deadline plans were greatly complicated by the knee injury that forced Bo Bichette to leave Toronto's game last night. The Jays haven't announced specifics of the injury, and rival execs speculate they may not until after the trade deadline. At least as perceived to be in sudden and desperate need of shortstop and loose leverages. The Jays expect to get more information about Bichette's injury by noon, which will give them some clarity as they make decisions before the deadline has now passed. Trades completed prior to deadline day. The Reds are acquiring left-handed reliever Sam Mull from the A's for right-hander Joe Boyle. The A's are a mess. The Giants are finalizing a trade to acquire outfielder A.J. Pollock and utility man Mark Mathis from the Seattle Mariners. The Cubs have acquired third baseman Jenner
Jamer Candelario.
Junior Candelario from the Nationals. Junior Candelario. The Brewers are acquiring Mark Kahana from the New York Mets. Sourcing from the ESPN, the Brewers are sending right-hander Justin Jarvis, who's at Double A, back to the Mets. The D-backs are finalizing a trade to acquire closer Paul Sewald from the Mariners. Source to ESPN. Seattle will reportedly receive big leaguers Josh Rojas and Dominic Canzone and minor leaguer Ryan Bliss. And hopefully they'll bring him a lot more Bliss. No, oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. The Angels landed outfielder Randall Erdchuk and first baseman CJ Cron from the Colorado Rockies for two minor league pitchers, two minor league pitchers, right-handed pitcher Jake Madden and left-hand pitcher Mason Albright. Okay, these were from all yesterday, so I think we've taken care of all that. All right, and of course the big trade, Scherzer has been traded to the Mets to the Texas Rangers. Yep. I know a lot of Mets fans. That I know are not happy with this. Sorry, guys, I don't make the news. I just report it.
I think they're partially. Oh wait, it was the Yankees that were partially selling, not the Mets. Right. So, but I think the Mets are selling.
Yeah, I mean, they were looking to be so promising, before
that's from what
the
I've
season
heard.
began. Yeah, I mean, because the Mets were on, trying to. After 101 win last season, you figured they were onto something, but they have really faltered this season, and they're fading fast in the playoff race. Okay, so now we'll take the scores of the day. Right now, in the bottom of the ninth, the Twins lead the Cardinals 3-1. Don't want to know out. Duran is pitching, and Contreras is a bat. Going into the bottom of the seventh, the Cubs are having an easy time with the Reds, 13-5. Tuchman, Honer, and Happ are due up. The Astros lead the Guardians 2-0. No one on, no one out. Valdez is pitching, and Arias is a bat. There we go. Royals just took the 3-1 lead in defense as we're in the top of the eighth. The bases are loaded and one out. Coleman is pitching and Lindor is at bat. Uh-oh. Bottom of the fifth, Padres lead Rockies 5-1. Honeywell is pitching and
think your mic is cutting in and out.
Oh, McMahon is at bat. Mariners lead the Red Sox in the top of the third, 1-0. Miller is pitching in. Duran's at bat with one out. I don't know if that's related to the other Duran. Hey, you got Duran. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Top of the third, no score between the D-backs and the Giants. With one out and nobody on. Cobb is pitching and Kelly is at bat. Bottom of the first, A's and Dodgers are scoreless. No one on, no one out. Walchuk is pitching and Betts is at bat. Earlier, the Phillies over the Marlins 3-1. Sato got the win, Robertson got the loss, and Dominguez got the save. Brewers over the Nationals 6-4. Petrella got the win, Gray got the loss, and Williams got the save. Rays over the Yankees 5-2. Ewan got the win, Rodin got the loss, and Fairbanks got the save. There was a chance that the Yankees could have got, because as they were trying to get the third out, the ball got away, and runners were on first and third with two out, and they were looking to tie the score up, but unfortunately, it was a rally killer. Sorry. And the Pirates beat your Tigers 4-1. Alvedo got the win, Manning got the loss, and Bednar got the save. Well. In the battle of the birds, the Orioles beat the Blue Jays 13-3. Braddock got the win, Rue got the loss. Braves over the Angels 5-1. Strider got the win, and Sandoval got the loss. Wow. And finally, the Rangers over the White Sox 2-0. Henny got the win. Schottner's got the loss, and Smith got the save. Okay, so now we'll go to the standings here. And it goes like this. Right, in the American League East, the better division, the Orioles are still on top at 66-41, have a game and a half lead over the Rays at 66-44. The Blue Jays, 59-49, 7.5 back. The Red Sox, 56-50, 9.5 back. And the Yankees, 55-52, 11 back. Oh boy, this is not good. This is not good at all. Well, for me anyway. Okay, to the Comedy Central, or the Tragic Comedy Central, the Twins are 54-53. The Guardians 53-54, a game back. Tigers 47-67 back. The White Sox 43-65, 11.5 back, and the Royals 32-75, 22 back, pending on the outcome of tonight's game against the Mets. To the West, Rangers 61-46. Just a game ahead of the Astros at 60-47. The Mariners, 55-51, 5.5 back. Also 5.5 back are the Angels at 56-52. And the A's are, well, the A's at 30-77. Ugh. Yuck. Ugh. You can't forfeit the season, though. Sorry. Okay, to the National League. The Braves, 68-37, have an 11-game lead over the Phillies at 58-49. The Marlins, 57-51, 12.5 back. The Mets, 50-55, 18 back, pending outcome of this game right now. And the Nationals at 45-63, 24.5 back. To the Central, the Reds, 59-49, a game ahead of the Brewers at 58-50. It's getting good. The Cubs, 53-53, 5 back, but still respectable. The Pirates, 48-58, 10 back, and the Cardinals, 47-60, 11.5 back. Gee, what happened to them? Okay, in the Wild Wild West, and I do mean wild, the Dodgers, 59-45. The Giants are 2.5 back at 58-49. The D-backs, 3.5 back at 57-50. Padres, 52-55, 8.5 back, kind of mediocre, but still doable. And the Rockies are 42-64, 18 back. Okay, over to tomorrow's schedule. Got a bunch of day games. Well, it's Wednesday for you. So
before you do, I got breaking news. The no-hitter's complete. The no-hitter's complete by Framber Valdez of the Astros.
Hello.
Only one walk. 95 pitches.
Unreal. Wow. Just short of a perfect game. Wow. Okay. Tomorrow's matchups, and get your alarm clock ready because it's got to be an early start tomorrow. The Angels take on the Braves at 12:20. At 12:35, your Tigers take on the Pirates. 1:05, the Brewers take on the Nationals. 2:10, the Guardians take on the Astros. 3:10, the Padres take on the Rockies. 4:10, the Red Sox take on the Mariners. 6:40, the Phillies take on the Marlins. 7:05, the Rays take on the Yankees. 7:07, the Orioles take on the Blue Jays. 7:45, the Twins take on the Cardinals. 8:05, the White Sox take on the Rangers. Also, the Reds take on the Cubs. 8:10, the Mets take on the Royals. 9:45, the D-backs take on the Giants. And at 10:10, the A's take on the Dodgers. All right, and of course, I'll have more scores before we sign off here. So we'll go on to other news and importance because we also have the Women's World Cup going on, and it was a doozy. The U.S. did qualify for the knockout round despite having a scoreless tie against Portugal, 0-0. That game was on at 3 o'clock this morning. Ridiculous. The Netherlands had an easy time over Vietnam, 7-0. England beat up on China 6-1. And Denmark over Haiti 2-0. So I guess nothing is rotten in Denmark after all. Oh boy. Okay. And for tomorrow's schedule, it goes this way as we're finishing up preliminary action. For you European soccer fans, AC Milan takes on Barcelona tonight at 11 o'clock. I am an AC Milan fan, by the way, so that's why I brought that up. Hey, I'm Italian. What can I say? Okay, so for tomorrow's World Cup, Argentina takes on Sweden at 3 a.m. Ridiculous. South Africa takes on Italy at 3 a.m. Oh, great. Jamaica takes on Brazil at 6 a.m. and Panama takes on France at 6 a.m. For the League Cup tournaments, Miami takes on Orlando at 8. Mazatlan takes on Dallas at 9 o'clock. Pachura takes on Houston at 9, and LAFC takes on FC Juarez at 10:30. This is the League Cup where the MLS takes on Latin American teams. I thought they were done by that. All right. And last but not least, in the WNBA, we have 2 games in progress. Well, actually, 2 games have ended. The Fever just barely beat the Mercury 72-71. The Sun over the Lynx 79-69. Right now, at the end of the first, the Sparks lead the Liberty 19-14, and the Vegas Aces are leading the Atlanta Dream 25-22. Of course, tomorrow's another big day in the WNBA. I say that back, there's only 1 game tomorrow. That's the Seattle Storm taking on the Dallas Wings at 10:30. All right. So now on to the rest of the news of the day. Boston Bruins goaltender Jeremy Swayman has been awarded a $3.4 million through arbitration on a contract for next season, the Bruins announced today. The ruling was handed down after Swayman and the Bruins and the Jets had a hearing on Sunday. The Bruins chose a 1-year deal instead of 2. Swayman is expected to share duties with Vincent Trophy winner Lance Omark. Both shared the William Jennings Trophy this past season for leading the league in goals against average, as the Bruins set records for most wins and most points in the regular season, only to be upset in the first round. Oh boy. The Bruins' recent success, that's by the Florida Panthers, by the way. The Bruins' recent success played a part in the ruling of Swayman's numbers from last season, improved his resume. But Swayman backed up Omark with a cap hit of just over $1 million. Now given Omark's $5 million cap hit for next season and Swayman's award, the Bruins now have $8 million tied to their goaltending situation, provided they can keep both players on opening night. Good luck. As I mentioned, the U.S. women's soccer team advances to the knockout stage after a draw with Portugal early this morning. Michael Andrzejewski's side was frustrated. A Portugal team that nearly snatched victory when Ana Capita hit the post, a strike that If it had gone in, would have eliminated the U.S. from the tournament. It was just that close. Oh
We
boy,
stay alive.
just barely. The U.S. will now face the winner of the Group G in Sunday's knockout match, which as of now looks to be Sweden. They only need 1 point against Argentina to confirm the top spot and the matchup. Meanwhile, the Netherlands claim the top spot in Group E with a good old 7-0 thrashing over Vietnam. I do mean a thrashing. I hate to say it, but the U.S. has been very disappointing this year after what happened with 2019 when they made it look very easily. Okay. Clippers guard Amari Coffey was arrested early on Sunday morning on misdemeanor firearms charges in Hollywood, authorities said. This would be my idiot of the week on my show. Coffey was a passenger in the vehicle that police pulled over for speeding around 2 a.m., according to a Los Angeles police officer. 2 a.m. Really? Coffey was cited for carrying a concealed firearm in a vehicle by Officer Tony Ime. Said he was released from jail after posting a bail of $10,000. He is scheduled to appear in court on August 24th. Yes, and that just came through from one of my other sites. A note here by the Astros. Okay, wow. He'll appear in court August 24th, according to jail records. The driver, cited for speeding, and another passenger received a misdemeanor for marijuana possession, said Ime. Coffey has been with the Clippers for the last 4 seasons. We are aware of the legal situation, Coffey. We are looking into, said by the Clippers in a statement yesterday. It is possible that Coffey could face sanctions from the NBA. The league usually reviews all matters of personal and criminal conduct and can issue a fine or a suspension. Coffey has been mostly used as a bench player, averaging 5.5 points per game. Well, not bad for a bench player. Okay, so moving on to the other news of the day. Wild stuff. And like I said, the Astros, and Justin Verlander are reuniting with hopes of building a third World Series title. Ew. The Astros reached agreement with the Mets today to reacquire Verlander, bringing the defending AL Cy Young winner back to Houston. Well, whoever said you can't go home was wrong. Outfielder Drew Gilbert, who was raised as the Astros' top prospect, is now heading to New York in a deal that was minor league outfielder Ryan Clifford, sources stated. Moving along, Clifford was an 11th round pick last season. He is ranked 4th in the Astros system after his impressive stint at High A. Verlander came back from Tommy John surgery to capture his third Cy Young in Houston and gave them their second title in 6 years. The Astros chose not to pursue a reunion with Verlander over the offseason, instead putting their faith in what looked to be a young, deep rotation, while Verlander signed a 2-year, $86 million deal with the Mets. But the Mets underperformed and triggered a sell-off, and the Astros were in the market for starting pitching by midseason, that prompting a star-studded reunion. Several teams were in on Verlander mostly. No, was a Dodgers team with more intriguing prospects to offer. But Verlander had a no-trade clause, and the Astros reportedly had the upper hand thanks to a strong relationship with their owner, Jim Crane. The Padres, who looked to be a selling move not long ago, pulled off a trade that addressed 2 of the most important needs this morning by acquiring left-hand pitcher Jim Choi and starting pitcher Rich Hill from the Pirates. In return, the Pirates will receive first baseman Alfonso Rivera and a pair of minor leaguers, Jackson Wolf and 17-year-old outfielder Estar Ciro. Sources said Wolf was ranked 16th in the Padres system. 16th, okay. The Padres remain below 500 despite having the 3rd highest payroll in the league. The circumstances forced them to shop coveted free agents Blake Snell and Josh Hader, sources on ESPN, but their asking prices were not met as the Padres swept the Rangers over the weekend. That prompted general manager AJ Parrell to pivot additions. Troy gives the Padres their first true first baseman, but will spend the majority of his time starting against right-handers at the DH, replacing Matt Carpenter, Choi has been limited to just 23 games with a strained left Achilles tendon, while batting .205 with 6 home runs and 11 RBIs in 724 play appearances with the Rays over the last 2 seasons. Hill will be pitching for his 13th team in 19 seasons. Wow. He made 22 starts for the Pirates by going 7-10 with an ERA of 4.76 in 116 innings, struck out 104 batters, and walked 47. The Padres need another arm to join Snell, Seth Lugo, Joe Musgrove, and Yu Darvish in the rotation, where Michael Wacha returns from shoulder inflammation later this month. Lugo could help in the bullpen. The Padres lost to the Rockies last night, have lost 4 straight for the first time this season, and are 3 games below 500 and 5 games out of a playoff berth. Still manageable. It's not dead yet. As we mentioned, the Blue Jays acquire Paul DeJong from the Cardinals. DeJong provides insurance after Bo Bichette left last night's game with soreness in his right knee. DeJong has 13 home runs and 32 RBIs on the season. He spent all 7 seasons with the Cardinals and was an all-star in 2019 with 30 home runs. Yankee pitcher Domingo Germán was scratched from his scheduled start last night against the Rays with discomfort in his armpit, but came in relief. Rookie right-hander Johnny Brito was recalled from AAA Scranton to face the Rays in an important 3-game series. To open a roster spot, the Yankees opted reliever Ron Marcario from AAA. With the Yankees down by 4 runs in the 5th, Brito gave up 4 runs. Germán came out of the bullpen and retired the first 5 batters, which was a good sign. First 5 batters. He threw 5 scoreless innings and just gave up 2 hits despite the loss to the Rays. Germán was beginning to feel tightness in Friday's loss to the Orioles and intensified in the bullpen on Saturday. Germán said, "I never felt anything like this before." That's why when I was so worked up about it, because it was a different kind of sensation, Germán said. So overall, I think it was the best thing I did discussing it with the trainers and followed their advice. The Rays led the AL wild card standings as a game and a half behind the Orioles for first in the AL East as of last night. Meanwhile, the last place Yankees, now at 51-52, are now 4 games back of a wild card spot. As a Yankee fan, am I worried? No. There's plenty of time to get at least a wild card spot, but they better act quickly. All right. As we mentioned, the Mets continue their downfall season. Traded outfielder Mike Kahana to the Brewers for minor league pitchers Justin Jarvis. The announcement was made yesterday. Kahana was a vital performer last season when the Mets won 101 games and still had the 3rd highest on-base percentage among Mets regulars. He's a player that we are excited about, said Brewers President of Operations Matt Arnold. Seth Kahana, he has been somewhat of a productive big leaguer for a long time. Yes, for a long time, and he is still a very versatile player. Between what he has done over the course of his career, offensively, and also with the ability to play outfield at first base, etc., etc., we think he is just what we need as we head to the stretch run. His contract of 2 years, worth $26.5 million, expires at the end of this season. The Mets will cover his salary this season above the league minimum. However, the Brewers will be on the hook for the buyout of a 2024 option, source of ESPN. The Brewers pursued him in hopes of an offense that had been at a weakness all season. The Brewers also promoted prospect Sal Frelick to bolster their order. He is likely going to play out right field, said manager Greg Counsell, after a loss to the Nationals last night, that will move Sal to center field, so we'll have to mix and match with the outfielders, but we have the DH spot that will be in play too. Whether it's Christian Yelich or Mark, some DHs at bat it opens up to. Jarvis was thriving at Double-A this season, but struggled in 3 starts at Triple-A with a 4.33 ERA, with 122 strikeouts, with 38 walks in 87 innings. Yeah, as you mentioned, AJ Pollock and Mark Mathis are headed. The Giants outfielders came to the managers yesterday for a player to be named later. Both teams announced. Pollock is on the injured list with a hamstring injury, and prior to that, had been struggling after signing a 1-year deal with the Mariners in this offseason. In the offseason, he joins his third National League team in his 10th season after being with the Dodgers and D-backs. He has 5 home runs and 130 plate appearances after losing his starting job in mid-May. Known for punishing left-handed pitchers, this season he has struggled against left-handers and with an OPS of 370 against them and 762 against right-handed pitchers. Mathis joins his 14th this season. The Rangers had traded him to the Pirates in spring training that designated him to assignment and lost him on a waiver claim to Seattle last month. In 47 games between AAA between the Mariners and Pirates, he had 4 home runs and 20 RBIs. The Giants have been looking for both infield and outfield help on the trade market, though the return of second baseman Thairo Estrada should straighten their lineup as they are the top position for the NL wildcard spot. However, they lost outfielder Mike Yastrzemski to the injured list yesterday with a left hamstring injury. Yastrzemski, that's a familiar name to some of us. All right. The D-backs, as I said before, the D-backs have acquired Paul Sewald from the Mariners last night and hoping to shore up a bullpen that has lost a step over the past month for a team that once led the NL West. And yes, they have. With both teams having near identical records, the Mariners took advantage of a thin pitchers market and received 3 pitchers in return. Rookie outfielder Dominic Canzone, journeyman Josh Rojas, and Double-A infielder Ryan Bliss. With the D-backs window of contention opening, they were looking for more of a long-team solution rather than just a rental player, and found in Sewald, who is under contract with the Mariners through 2024. He has been in the bullpen since joining the Mariners in 2021, saving 52 games, and will take over the role after Arizona spent the season using a committee. In 43 innings this season, he struck out 60 batters, walked 14, posting a 2.93 ERA with 21 saves out of 24 opportunities. In the last month, the D-backs bullpen of 6.37, only the Nationals are worse than that in that span with 7.22. And that's not all, as last night they acquired infielder Jake Pearson from the A's for Chad Patrick. Manager Scott Service discussed the deal before the game last night with reporters. He has meant so much to us at the back end of our bullpen, Service said, but we understand this is a business, and when you're looking for players and where they are in their career, and we are trying to add younger players and guys who could fit in and guys in their front office is very high on. Adding more offense and adding young players that are athletic and doing things there. So it is a good trade, but it hurts as well because of our relationship with Paul and what it means to us. I couldn't put that better myself. And for those of you who don't remember, Scherzer heads to the Texas Rangers. So the Mets are really losing good players, and what they thought was going to be, a great season to follow up with that lineup has been a major disappointment. I speak for Met fans everywhere.
Lowell Metz returns, or actually stays.
Yeah. Oop, got some updates here. I think you guys some of you might like this. Well, if you're a Cubs fan, I got some good news. They're destroying the Reds right now, 17-5 at the bottom of the 8th. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Malley is pitching and Baez at bat. Look at this, guys. The Royals and Mets are tied now, going into the top of the ninth. I kid you not, folks. I kid you not. But then again,
That's
remember, it
Lowell
is the
Mets.
Royals.
That's Lowell Mets.
Yeah.
LOL Mets.
Yes. And to think, these two teams played in the 2015 World Series. Oh, boy. Ortega, Mendick, and McNeil
True.
are due up. Yeah. And the Royals won in 5 games. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Padres are leading the Rockies 5-1. Runner on first. Honeywell is pitching, and Tovar is at bat. The Red Sox lead the Mariners 3-1. Going into the bottom of the fourth, Cazone, France, and Ford are due up. Bottom of the fourth, it's still scoreless between the D-backs and the Giants. Nobody on, 2 out. Gallen is pitching, and Crawford is at bat. At the top of the third, there is no score between the A's and Dodgers. Lynn is pitching, and Diaz is at bat. Okay, that completes my notes. I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, episode
I
74
hate
of
this
True
thing.
Sports is done. That was the MLB. This was the MLB post trade deadline special. Oh, we'll be back. We'll be back Sunday night at 11:30.
All right.
Talk to you then. Ta ta.
Good night, folks.